Are you tired of not getting what you want in life? You trying to get to the next level, but you feel stuck? Are you tired of feeling undervalued or taken advantage of in your relationships? Do you find it challenging to maintain a sense of pride or stay true to the quote-unquote traditional values that you know are going to land you what you really desire in a relationship? Or maybe you do live by a respectable doctrine in your dating life, but for some reason, you are not able to get what you want out of life. You may feel frustrated when it seems like the partners you desire have certain expectations, yet you continue to sleep with every right swipe who is attractive, has a scent of money on them, and enough tact to not send obnoxious photos to you right off the bat. We all have skeletons in our closets, and a lot of women lie about their body counts because societal expectations have set up the notion that it's cool for a guy to be a player, but bad for a woman to do the same thing. Let's not argue about whether or not that is fair. That is a topic for another channel, not to mention another video. What I'm saying is that whether or not it is fair, it is the way it is. And regardless of what the current trends in politics try to dictate to the masses, us men, especially those of us with endless options when it comes to women, have an ideal of what we want from a woman, and it is more shaped by traditional values than by anything else. Look, I'm not knocking women with a past, and I know the last few questions on the body count issue do not apply to all women. I am adding it because these topics that I teach on here obliterate the very issue that causes those arguments. And this video was designed to help all women. So whatever your situation is, then know that it is never too late to turn it around. And if you are in a perfect situation and have everything in life you want already, then thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all the bells and whistles if you're into my content. I'll see you next time. If you're still here, I'll say this. If you have a doctrine of truth that you live by in your life, then you can really put the past behind you and move forward to a point where your behaviors are in line with what you say always, and then two things will happen. One, you stand a chance of getting what you want in a relationship, and two, you actually will come to a point where you realize that you don't need to depend on a relationship and attention and likes and all that nonsense for your sense of inner self-worth. This doctrine is called sexual energy retention, and in its practice, you need to conduct sexual transmutation of the surplus energies that will manifest when you do this practice. There are a few forms of this that I teach to men that depend on their circumstances, and while the internal biochemistry and the social situation may vary slightly for women, the practices and the underlying advice for someone in your situation are the same. For women, embracing sexual energy retention offers a myriad of transformative benefits that extend far beyond the physical realm. By cultivating a deep connection with your innermost self, you can experience heightened levels of self-awareness, emotional stability, and overall well-being. Through mindful management and intentional practice, you will gain a profound sense of empowerment, allowing you to reclaim ownership of your body and your desires. This newfound sense of agency will enable you to navigate relationships with greater clarity and confidence, fostering deeper connections based on mutual respect and understanding. Furthermore, sexual energy retention empowers women to tap into their innate creativity and intuition, unlocking a wellspring of inspiration and vitality. As you channel your sexual energy towards higher purposes, you will discover a renewed sense of purpose and passion, fueling your endeavors with unparalleled drive and determination. Whether pursuing personal or professional goals, women find themselves propelled by a force that transcends the mundane, guiding them towards a life filled with fulfillment, joy, and limitless possibilities. Many women throughout history have practiced sexual energy retention and transmutation to accomplish extraordinary feats. For example, women like Queen Elizabeth I and Joan of Arc demonstrated extraordinary resilience and leadership, channeling their inner strength and determination towards noble causes and historical legacies that continue to inspire generations. Queen Elizabeth I, one of England's most iconic monarchs, ruled during a tumultuous period in history. Her reign, known as the Elizabethan era, marked a golden age of English literature and exploration. Despite facing numerous challenges, including threats to her throne and pressure to marry and produce an heir, Elizabeth maintained her independence and authority with unwavering resolve. Her astute political maneuvering and diplomatic skill enabled her to navigate the treacherous waters of European politics, earning her the nickname the Virgin Queen. Under her leadership, England experienced a period of relative stability, peace, and prosperity, laying the foundation for its emergence as a global power. Joan of Arc, the courageous French heroine, played a pivotal role in the Hundred Years' War between France and England. Born into a peasant family in the 15th century, Joan claimed to have received divine visions instructing her to support Charles VII and help drive the English from France. Despite facing skepticism and opposition from both sides, Joan fearlessly led French troops into battle, inspiring them with her unwavering faith and conviction. Her military victories, including the lifting of the Siege of Orleans, boosted French morale and paved the way for Charles VII's coronation. Although her efforts eventually led her to capture and execution by the English, Joan's legacy as a symbol of French unity and resistance endures to this day. These extraordinary women exemplify the transformative power of sexual energy, not only in their personal lives, but also in their profound impact on history. Queen Elizabeth I and Joan of Arc defied societal expectations and gender norms to assert their authority and shape the course of their respective nations. Through their resilience, leadership, and unwavering commitment to their causes, they demonstrated the boundless potential of harnessing sexual energy for greater purpose and contribution to society. Their legacies serve as a testament to the enduring power of human spirit and the capacity for individuals to effect meaningful change in the world. The two practices that we promote on this channel are Akanda Brahmacharya and Taoist retention. Akanda Brahmacharya is the sublimation of all your sexual impulses in word, thought, and deed. And Taoist retention allows you to have a balanced sex life with ejaculation frequency schedules, orgasm without ejaculation, and alchemical transmutation tactics for urges that occur between sexual encounters. Obviously, things like ejaculation don't apply to women, but we can still make inferences from these for women. And you can confidently replace the term semen with ovum and testicle with ovary in most transmutation contexts to extrapolate the message you need to take from them. I will read from Swami Shivananda's book, Practice of Brahmacharya, to provide evidence of this. Swami Shivananda was a realized master, yogi, author, and the overall Maharaja of Brahmacharya, and he spit it like this. The female gonads, the ovaries, corresponding to the testes in the males, produce, develop, and mature precious vital force like semen. This is the ovum. Though the woman does not actually lose this out of her body, as in the case of semen in man, yet due to the sexual act, it leaves the ovaries and is taken up in the process of conception to form the embryo. And one knows only too well what a strain and drain on strength childbearing is to a woman. Repeated depletion of this force and the strain of childbirth makes wrecks of healthy ladies and works havoc with their strength, beauty, and grace, as well as their youth and mental power. Eyes lose the luster and sparkle that are indicative of their inner forces. The intense, sensuous excitement of the act shatters the nervous system and causes debility too. Their system more delicate and high-strung, females are often more affected than men. Women should preserve their precious vital force. The ovum and the hormones secreted by the ovaries are very essential for the maximum physical and mental well-being of women. So if you are a woman wondering if this can be done by women as well, rest assured that you stand to benefit the same or even more than men. But you have to engage in the same sublimation tactics. Akanda Brahmacharya, a concept rooted in Hindu philosophy, refers to the practice of complete sexual sublimation. Thus, the practitioner does not engage in or think about sex and sublimates all urges to do so. It is often undertaken by spiritual aspirants who seek to preserve and transmute their sexual energy into spiritual power. This practice is believed to aid in attaining higher states of consciousness, enhancing mental clarity, and fostering spiritual growth. And it goes without saying that those who partake in this rise to material heights if they choose to do so. By abstaining from all forms of sexual activity and transmuting the energy, practitioners manufacture their ojas, or spiritual energy, and redirect it upwards towards higher purposes, ultimately achieving self-realization and union with the divine. Taoist retention, a practice emphasized in Taoist sexual energy cultivation, involves managing and preserving sexual energy to enhance overall vitality and spiritual well-being. For men, This includes controlling ejaculation through ejaculation frequency schedules, experiencing orgasms without ejaculation, and using alchemical techniques like meditation and energy circulation to manage sexual urges that occur between encounters. For women, the practice involves focusing on achieving whole-body orgasms rather than localized ones, ensuring a balanced and harmonious flow of energy. Women can benefit from a sex schedule that mimics the male orgasm frequency schedule. For women, we also suggest only engaging in meaningful and mindful sexual interactions within a serious monogamous relationship. This approach supports the conservation and optimal use of sexual energy for both partners, promoting overall health and spiritual growth. It also ensures that you are behaving in line with a doctrine that will promote your long-term ability to secure a life partner. I know. If you have seen my other content for men on this, you may say it seems sexist that Akanda promotes monogamy for women, but himself plays the field when on Taoist retention. I am only saying what I think will get you results in all aspects of life. For many women, marriage, procreation, starting a family, etc. is very important. And for women, you operate with a more acute time schedule for this. But if these are of no concern to you, then by all means, feel free to explore. No judgments from us on that. And Akanda Brahmacharya doesn't have these issues because you will not be engaging in sexual activity, and when you come off of it and decide to date again, you will maintain your purity, and whatever bad habits you had before will be a thing of the past. That said, your character, at least at that point, will be in line with what is considered relationship material for men of quality. I will link 2 playlists at the end of this video in case you want to delve further on either path. And on semen retention, just replace the term semen with ovum or sexual energy, and rest assured that you can have the same results and benefits. I always suggest to people that if you are in a bad position in life, or quitting porn addiction, or can't do Taoist retention because of sex addiction, to do a good 6 months on God mode to both rewire and clean your soul out. For women, I will add that if your sex life is a mess, meaning you are sleeping with your right swipes as mentioned earlier and all that, then you need a good 6 months on God mode to purify before you start Taoist retention and dating again. Take a bit to clear out your mind and rid your life of these men who are using you anyway, and then when you resume dating, build the habit of saying no, and you will be one no closer to your husband. I promise that. Now it is important to note that mere abstinence is not Akanda Brahmacharya. The term celibacy describes mere abstinence, which in and of itself is actually harmful to the practitioner without sublimation of the surplus energies that will occur when you undertake this practice. So do not engage in mere abstinence. Every sexual urge that occurs must be transmuted. Every time you think about sex, you must engage in the transmutation activities so as to A, prevent the actions from actually occurring, and B, build a laser focus and mindfulness of these urges at their root so you can nip them in the bud, so to speak. Without sublimation, I personally would not be able to be abstinent for a super long period myself. But I was blessed to find out by accident after reading and practicing Swami Shivananda's advice in his book, Practice of Brahmacharya, that not only does it make a long streak possible, but it actually makes it blissful. First few weeks to a month may be tough, but after that, something starts to open up within. And I will let your experience, if you go this route, show you the rest from within. If you are already in a good position in life and merely want to boost and not so interested in amplifying spirituality at all costs, then you are a good candidate to start on Taoist retention. I did a video on ejaculation frequency schedules for men, so equate that to a sex schedule, only to be done with a partner you love in a monogamous relationship. And all the sex transmutation tactics can be used as well. If you want to do testicle breathing, simply visualize the energy from the ovaries instead. Same practice, ovarian breathing is a common Taoist alchemical transmutation. Much can be done when partaking in these practices. They are the gateway to your innermost self, which is the divine. And on the way up that spiritual ladder, you will gain immense control over your body and an ability to accomplish extraordinary things. For example, in certain branches of yogic and tantric traditions, there are teachings and practices that assert the ability of female brahmacharis to exert control over their reproductive functions, including the ovulation cycle. These teachings are often deeply rooted in ancient texts and transmitted within specific lineages or schools of thought. According to these teachings, female yogis can achieve a state of heightened awareness and mastery over their bodies through disciplined practice, including asanas or physical postures, pranayama or breath control, and meditation. By harnessing the power of prana and directing it with precision, these practitioners gain the ability to influence physiological processes at a subtle level. One such practice, mentioned in some tantric texts, is the Yoni Mudra, which involves internal energy control and visualization techniques aimed at regulating the menstrual cycle and improving fertility. At high levels, some advanced yogis are said to completely prevent ovulation with this practice. Through focused concentration and mastery of the subtle energetic channels within the pelvic region, female yogis are said to be able to retain the ovum within the ovaries, thereby conserving their vital energy and promoting spiritual evolution. In a similar vein, male Urdhva yogis possess the ability to prevent the formation of semen in the body. By mastering Brahmacharya and Pranayama, these yogis purportedly retain their vital energy, which is believed to nourish the body and mind, leading to enhanced physical health, mental clarity, and spiritual awakening. While these assertions may seem extraordinary to some, within the context of these spiritual traditions, they are presented as attainable goals for dedicated practitioners who have undergone rigorous training under the guidance of knowledgeable teachers. It's important to approach these teachings with an open mind and recognize the profound depth of wisdom embedded within these ancient traditions, which offer pathways to self-realization and transcendence beyond the limitations of the physical body. We're all born into and trapped in this physical body for a temporary period. But there is something within us that is yearning to come out of us. As we journey through this physical existence, we often find ourselves yearning for something beyond the mundane, something that transcends the limitations of our earthly existence. We seek to soar beyond our wildest dreams, to achieve greatness, and to experience the boundless wonders of the universe. Yet, amidst the chaos of everyday life, we may feel trapped, held back by our own desires and insecurities. But there is a calling deep within us, a whisper from the divine, urging us to rise above the senses, to break free from the shackles of our physical bodies, and to realize our true potential. It is a call to practice retention, to harness the power of our sexual energy, and to channel it towards higher spiritual purposes. Let us not be enslaved by our sexual energy. Instead, let us seize its potent force and direct it towards the refinement of our being, towards the pursuit of our highest ideals. By doing so, we elevate ourselves and honor the sacred essence within. So let us bow our heads in reverence and ask the divine for guidance and grace. God, please shine your grace upon us. May we, regardless of gender, be granted the strength and wisdom to transcend our earthly desires and accomplish all that is meant for us. May we find empowerment in our practice, liberation in our journey, and ultimately, may we experience the divine within and without. Amen. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all the bells and whistles if you're into my content. I'll see you next time.